The list can sleep now. Every unfinished thing can remain unfinished until morning. The message you didn't answer can wait. The room you didn't straighten can stay exactly as it is. The decision you couldn't make does not need to be made in the dark. The task you carried from 1 hour into the next has reached the edge of the day, and it does not need to follow you any farther. Nothing on that list is angry with you. Nothing there is keeping score. The unchecked boxes are not proof that you failed. They are only signs that you are human, that your energy had a limit, that the day asked for more than one person could comfortably give. Those tasks will still know your name tomorrow. They will not disappear because you close your eyes. They will not become heavier because you stop thinking about them for a while. They can lie quietly where they are. They can wait without resentment. They can be unfinished and still be safe. You do not have to carry every loose end into bed. You do not have to keep rehearsing what you meant to do, what you should have said, what you might have handled better, or what you fear you may forget. Your mind has been standing guard for long enough. It has been holding reminders at the doorway, afraid that if it lets one of them go, something important will be lost. It has repeated names, times, errands, worries, promises, and small unfinished duties because it believes this is how it protects you. Your mind is not trying to punish you. It is trying to help. It is tired from helping in the only way it knows. You can thank it now. You can tell it that the day has a safe place to stay. You can tell it that nothing important must be solved before your body receives care. You can tell it that morning has room for what remains. The hours behind you are no longer asking for your attention. They have already happened. The conversations are complete for now. The doors that closed are closed. The people you cared for have been carried as far as you could carry them today. The choices you made were made with the strength, patience, understanding, and information available to you at the time. You were not required to be all-knowing. You were not required to predict every need. You were not required to protect everyone from every disappointment. You were not required to perform your way into deserving quiet. Still, you tried. You kept moving when a part of you wanted to sit down. You answered when you wanted silence. You listened when your own thoughts needed somewhere to land. You made space for feelings that were not yours. You watched the moods around you and adjusted yourself so the room would stay calm. You remembered what mattered to other people. You carried details that no one knew you were carrying. You held dates, needs, worries, expectations, and unspoken tension. You made small decisions all day, many of them so ordinary that no one would ever think to thank you for them. You decided what could wait and what could not. You decided what to say and what to keep inside. You decided when to speak with care. You decided when to stay patient. You decided how much of your weariness to show. You may have smiled while your body was asking for space. You may have said, "It's fine," because explaining the truth felt like another job. You may have kept your voice steady while something inside you trembled. You may have continued because stopping did not seem available. Perhaps no one saw how often you gathered yourself. No one saw the moments when you had to swallow a sharp reply. No one saw the breath you took before answering kindly. No one saw how much effort it took to remain present. No one saw you return to the same problem with less energy than before. No one saw the private calculations behind your calm face. No one saw how many times you placed your own need at the end of the line. You saw everyone else's tiredness. You made room for it. You understood the person who was short with you. You excused the one who forgot to ask how you were. You noticed when someone needed reassurance. You softened your words so another person would not feel blamed. You gave patience even when your own supply was low. You did what caring people often do. You became useful before you became cared for. You became dependable before you became honest about how much it cost. You kept the day from falling apart in ways no one may ever fully understand. That effort counts. The quiet effort counts. The invisible effort counts. The kindness that was never praised counts. The restraint counts. The showing up counts. The trying counts. Even the moments that did not turn out as you hoped still came from a heart doing its best to move through a demanding day. You may be thinking about what was left undue. Nay, your body remembers what was done. It remembers every hour you stayed alert. It remembers the tension you carried in your shoulders. It remembers the way your jaw tightened when you chose not to react. It remembers the pressure behind your eyes. It remembers how long you stood, how much you listened, how many times you changed direction because someone needed something. It remembers the hunger you postponed. It remembers the water you forgot to drink. It remembers the sigh that never became a full breath. It remembers the moment you almost stopped and then kept going. Your body has kept a faithful record, not to accuse you, not to frighten you, only to tell the truth. You have given enough for one day. You do not need to argue with that truth. You do not need to compare your effort with someone else's. Another person's capacity does not define yours. Another person's pace does not measure your worth. Another person's visible success does not erase what it took for you to reach this hour. You are here now. That is enough for this moment. You made it through a day that required many versions of you: the responsible one, the calm one, the practical one, the one who remembered, the one who checked, the one who waited, the one who worried quietly, the one who kept things moving, the one who did not want to be a burden, the one who said yes because saying no felt too difficult, the one who hoped someone might notice without being told. All those versions of you can stop working now. They do not need to stand at attention beside the bed. They do not need to prepare arguments for tomorrow. They do not need to review every mistake. They do not need to defend your worth. They can set down their duties. they can become one person again. One person who has carried enough. One person who needs warmth more than advice. One person who does not need another lesson before closing their eyes. One person who has nothing to prove during these hours. You may still feel the pull of the day. Your thoughts may reach backward. They may touch the conversation that felt unfinished. They may return to the look on someone's face. They may ask whether you did enough. They may begin building tomorrow before this day has even released you. You do not need to fight those thoughts. A mind that has been busy does not become quiet through force. It becomes quiet when it no longer feels responsible for everything. You can let each thought know that it has been heard. You can answer it with calm honesty. Yes, there is more to do. Yes, some things remain uncertain. Yes, someone may still be disappointed. Yes, tomorrow may ask for courage. None of that must be carried every second. There is a difference between caring and never putting the care down. There is a difference between responsibility and constant strain. There is a difference between loving people and abandoning yourself to keep them comfortable. You may have learned to stay ready, ready for the next need, ready for the next sound, ready for the next request, ready for the next change in someone's mood, ready to explain, ready to fix, ready to step in before anyone has to ask. Readiness may have protected you once. It may have helped your family. It may have kept peace in difficult rooms. It may have taught you how to notice what others missed. That skill deserves respect. It also deserves a place to end. You do not need to remain ready while the house grows quiet. You do not need to keep your heart standing in a doorway. You do not need to listen for trouble that has not arrived. The night does not require your supervision. The walls can stand without your attention. The world can continue turning while you loosen your grip on it. Other people can meet their own feelings. Tomorrow can carry its own weight when it comes. For now, your work is not to solve. Your work is not to improve. Your work is not to become more patient, more productive, more positive, more spiritual, or more prepared. You have done enough becoming for one day. This hour is not a project. You are not a problem to complete. You are not an unfinished version of someone more deserving. You do not need to repair your entire life before receiving comfort. You do not need perfect thoughts. You do not need a peaceful mood. You do not need to forgive everything at once. You do not need to understand why today felt so heavy. You can arrive here exactly as you are, concerned, disappointed, overstimulated, lonely, irritated, numb, grateful and weary at the same time. You are not required to choose one feeling and make it beautiful. You can have mixed feelings and still be worthy of care. You can love your life and need a break from it. You can love people and feel drained by what they ask of you. You can be strong and wish someone else would take over. You can be hopeful and still feel low. You can have many blessings and still find the day difficult. Gratitude does not cancel exhaustion. Love does not remove limits. Good intentions do not create endless energy. Your limits are not a moral failure. They are part of being alive. There is no shame in reaching the place where your body says, "No more for now." There is wisdom there. There is honesty there. The body speaks in ways the mind sometimes tries to dismiss. A slower step, a heavier blink, a need for quiet, a sudden tenderness, a smaller tolerance for noise, a feeling that even simple choices are too much. These are not signs that you have become weak. They are signs that your resources have been used. A lamp does not apologize when it needs darkness. A heart does not fail because it needs stillness. You are not failing because you cannot keep giving at the same pace. You are meeting the natural edge of effort. That edge deserves kindness. It does not need to be pushed farther to prove anything. There may have been a time when stopping felt unsafe. You may have learned that value came from usefulness. You may have been praised for being easy, helpful, mature, strong, or undemanding. You may have discovered that people were pleased when you needed very little. You may have become good at caring for yourself quietly, so no one else had to be inconvenienced. You may have learned to make your pain small. You may have learned to keep working through it. You may have believed that love had to be earned through service. These lessons can live deep in the nervous system. They can make stillness feel unfamiliar. They can make an empty hour feel like guilt. They can make you reach for the next task before your hands have finished the last one. They can make care feel easier to give than to receive. Nothing is wrong with you for learning these patterns. They helped you belong. They helped you avoid conflict. They helped you become someone others could rely on. They may have carried you through seasons when there was no room to fall apart. You do not need to hate those parts of yourself. They were trying to keep you close to love. They only need to learn that love can come without exhaustion. Care can reach you without being earned. Quiet can be safe. An unfinished task can remain unfinished without turning into danger. A delayed answer does not make you unkind. A boundary does not erase your goodness. Closing your eyes does not mean you have stopped caring. It means you are including yourself among those who matter. You may not be used to doing that. You may understand it in theory and still feel resistance in your body. The mind may say, "I should get one more thing done." It may say, "I will settle after I check." It may say, "I cannot relax until I know." It may say, "Other people are doing more." It may say, "I have not earned this yet." These thoughts can pass through without becoming instructions. A thought is not a command. A worry is not a prophecy. An unfinished task is not an emergency. You do not have to obey every message produced by a weary mind. You can hear the old urgency and choose not to follow it. You can let the list remain where it is. Picture the words no longer flashing. Picture the items losing their sharp edges. Not gone, not denied, only quiet. The call can wait. The laundry can wait. The planning can wait. The answer can wait. The document can wait. The cleaning can wait. The fixing can wait. The decision can wait. The apology can wait until it can be spoken with care. The future can wait until you are standing inside it. Your life is not harmed by a few hours of stillness. Your responsibilities do not disappear when you pause. They become easier to meet when your inner resources are not empty. This does not mean every burden will feel light tomorrow. It does not promise that every problem will solve itself. It means only that you do not have to work on all of it while lying in the dark. There is no wisdom in making the body suffer so the list can feel complete. There will always be another item, another message, another corner that could be cleaner, another plan that could be improved, another way you could have done more. A life cannot be completed like a checklist. It must also be lived. Living includes stopping. Living includes receiving. Living includes letting the hands become empty. You have spent enough hours responding to what was outside you. Now you can become aware of what has been waiting within. The part of you that wanted reassurance. The part that wanted someone to say, "You don't have to keep going." The part that wanted warmth without needing to explain. The part that wanted to be cared for before becoming completely depleted. That part has not been asking for too much. It has been asking for something human. You do not need to make a case for your weariness. You do not need evidence. You do not need to reach a breaking point before care becomes appropriate. You do not need to wait until your body forces you to stop. You can respond earlier. You can listen before the signal becomes a cry. You can choose tenderness while you still have a choice. This is not laziness. Laziness is a word often placed on needs that were never properly understood. A person can look still while carrying years of strain. A person can appear unproductive while gathering enough strength to continue. A person can spend an evening doing nothing visible and still be doing something essential. The world measures movement easily. It does not always know how to measure recovery. It notices what gets finished. It may not notice what is quietly restored. It praises endurance. It does not always praise the wisdom to stop before endurance becomes harm. You do not need the world's permission. Your body is already speaking. Your heart is already asking for less noise. Your mind is already showing you how full it has become. You can answer without shame. You can say, "I hear you." You can say, "You have carried enough." You can say, "What remains will be met later." You can say, "You do not have to stay awake to prove that you care." These words do not need to be dramatic. They only need to be true. You may feel emotion rising when you stop. That can happen. During the day, there may have been no space for it. You may have moved from one duty to another, leaving every feeling in a quiet room inside you. When the outer noise fades, those feelings may come closer. A sadness, a frustration, a sense of being unseen, a longing to be comforted, a fear that you have fallen behind. A grief without a clear name. You do not need to solve those feelings either. They do not need a complete explanation before you close your eyes. They may only need to be met without judgment. You can let sadness be sadness. You can let disappointment be disappointment. You can let the ache exist without turning it into a verdict about your future. A difficult day is not a difficult life. A lonely hour is not proof that you will always be alone. A mistake is not your identity. A delay is not rejection from life. A quiet season is not abandonment. The mind may speak in permanent language when it is depleted. Always, never, nothing, everything, no one. Those words can feel convincing after a long day. They are often the language of an overwhelmed system, not the whole truth. You do not need to debate them. You can let them pass. The truth can be smaller and kinder. This was hard. You are worn down. You need care. Tomorrow is not here yet. You are still worthy. You are still here. That is enough truth for now. You may wish you had handled something differently. That wish can be honored without punishment. Regret can become guidance later. It does not need to become a weapon tonight. You can learn without attacking yourself. You can take responsibility without refusing your self-comfort. You can apologize tomorrow if an apology is needed. You can make a different choice when the next moment arrives. You do not improve by being cruel to the person who was already struggling. You improve by understanding what made the moment hard. You improve by giving yourself enough steadiness to respond with more care next time. Nothing good is lost when you speak to yourself kindly. Kindness does not excuse harm. It creates the inner safety needed to face truth without collapse. You can be honest and loving at once. You can admit that you missed something. You can admit that you reacted from strain. You can admit that you need support. You can admit that you cannot keep carrying everything in the same way. Honesty is not failure. It is the beginning of a different relationship with yourself. One where you are not only valued for how much you can withstand, one where you are not abandoned when you become inconvenient, one where your limits are not treated like betrayal, one where care is not saved for the moment after you break. You deserve a life that does not require you to disappear in order to keep it running. You deserve relationships where your needs are not automatically placed last. You deserve spaces where you do not have to earn warmth through exhaustion. You deserve to be known as a whole person, not only as the one who helps. Even if those changes take time, you can begin here. Not with a grand promise, not with a perfect plan, with one quiet decision. The list does not enter this be with you. It can remain outside these moments. It can wait on paper, on a screen, in a corner of the mind that no longer needs to shine a bright light. You can return to it when you have returned to yourself. The day does not become more worthy because you suffer through the night. Tomorrow does not become safer because you rehearse it without end. The people you love are not served by your depletion. Your future is not asking you to arrive empty. You can stop preparing for life long enough to be cared for by the stillness that is here. The room may not be perfect. Your mind may not be fully quiet. Your emotions may not be settled. None of those conditions disqualify you. You can be unfinished and cared for. You can be uncertain and safe in this moment. You can be behind on something and still deserve peace. You can carry questions without carrying them actively. You can let the answers remain elsewhere for now. The day may have been loud with expectation. This hour can ask less. It can ask only that you stop adding weight. No more reviewing. No more measuring. No more comparing your private struggle with someone else's public strength. No more collecting evidence against yourself. No more turning every delay into a flaw. No more demanding that your body perform when it is asking to be protected. You have done enough for this day. Not because every item is complete, not because every person is satisfied, not because every worry is resolved. Because you are a living person, and living people reach an end to their energy. That end is not shameful. It is where care begins. You can let this be the moment when care finally includes you. The responsibilities will have their time. The conversations will have their time. The repair will have its time. The planning will have its time. This is your time to stop being chased by what is not happening right now. Nothing is being demanded in this exact moment. No one is standing here with a clock. No one is asking for an answer. No one needs a performance. You can loosen your loyalty to urgency. You can remember that a calm response tomorrow may be more useful than a strained response tonight. You can remember that clarity often returns after the mind has been left alone. You can remember that strength does not always arrive through effort. Sometimes it returns quietly when effort ends. There is no need to force that return. You do not need to make yourself calm. You do not need to make yourself sleepy. You do not need to control what happens next. You can only stop demanding more from yourself. That is enough. Let the list become quiet. Let the unanswered question remain unanswered. Let the next day remain unbuilt. Let the parts of you that have been on duty begin to understand that they are no longer needed for these hours. You have brought everyone and everything as far as you could. Now you can bring yourself he, she, not as a worker, not as a fixer, not as the responsible one, as someone who has given much, as someone who needs care, as someone whose body has been waiting patiently for kindness. The list can sleep, and you can begin to set it down. You do not have to set it down perfectly. Some burdens leave the hands slowly. Some thoughts return because they have been rehearsed for so long that silence feels unfamiliar. Some parts of you may still be waiting for permission to stop. They may not trust that the day is truly over. They may expect another request, another problem, another person who needs you to be steady, another reason to get back up. That expectation can remain in the body even when the room is quiet. It can live in the muscles around your neck. It can sit behind your forehead. It can keep your breathing small. It can make the mattress feel like one more place where you are supposed to succeed. You are not doing anything wrong if you cannot loosen all at once. You have spent many hours collecting tension. You do not need to remove it in one moment. You can be patient with the parts that are still braced. They have been working hard. They have been trying to keep you ready. The strain in you did not appear because you were weak. It formed because you kept responding. You kept meeting what came. You kept adjusting when plans changed. You kept offering more after you thought your energy was gone. You found another answer. You completed another task. You listened to another concern. You carried another piece of information so someone else would not have to. The body does not always complain while the work is happening. Sometimes it waits until the demands have passed. Then the heaviness arrives. Then the feelings appear. Then the emptiness becomes clear. This can be confusing. You may wonder why you managed all day and feel unable to manage yourself now. You may think the sudden drop means something has gone wrong. Often, it means you finally reached a place where your system no longer has to hide what the day cost. You are not falling apart. You are feeling the effort after the effort has ended. You are hearing what was postponed. You are meeting the need that stood quietly behind every obligation. There is no fault in that. There is only a person who has used much of what they had. You may have been taught to mistrust your own limits. You may have heard that strong people keep going, that disciplined people do not complain, that caring people always find more to give, that successful people wake early, work late, and never lose their focus, that good parents remain patient, that good partners remain available, that good friends answer, that dependable people do not cancel. These ideas can turn ordinary human need into shame. They can make you judge your body for asking for what every body requires. They can make you believe that weariness is a character flaw. It is not. A full mind is not a bad mind. A heavy body is not a bad body. A person who needs quiet is not selfish. A person who cannot offer one more answer is not cruel. You are not less loving because your energy has an edge. You are not less capable because you have reached it. You are not less worthy because you need to be cared for. The day may have asked you to ignore that edge. You may have had responsibilities that could not be postponed. You may have cared for children, parents, patients, customers, co-workers, or people who depend on your steadiness. You may have worked through noise, pressure, conflict, or uncertainty. You may have had no private place to collect yourself. You may have been needed before you had time to understand what you needed. You may have watched the clock while knowing there was still too much to do. You may have carried money worries behind every ordinary choice. You may have smiled through discomfort because the situation did not feel safe enough for honesty. You may have kept a promise while wishing someone would release you from it. You may have done your best in conditions that were never designed to support you. It is easy to judge the final result. It is harder to see the conditions under which you created it. Be fair to yourself. Remember what you were carrying. Remember what was missing. Remember how many decisions had already been made before the difficult moment arrived. Remember that patience becomes harder when the body is depleted. Remember that concentration changes when worry has been running in the background. Remember that a person can care deeply and still speak poorly when they have reached their limit. This does not erase responsibility. It adds understanding. You can repair what needs repair without making yourself into the enemy. You can look honestly at the day without using honesty as punishment. You can say, "That was not how I wanted to respond." You can also say, "I understand why I had so little left." Both truths can exist. You do not need to choose between accountability and compassion. Compassion helps you change without destroying the person who must do the changing. You may have spent years believing that harshness would make you better. You may have spoken to yourself in ways you would never speak to someone you loved. You may have thought pressure was the only thing keeping you from becoming careless. You may have feared that kindness would make you stop trying. But your heart already knows how to try. It has been trying for a long time. It does not need cruelty to keep moving. It needs a safer place to return to. It needs to know that mistakes do not remove love. It needs to know that low energy does not remove dignity. It needs to know that being overwhelmed does not make it unwanted. The voice within you can become a place of shelter. Not because it denies reality, because it tells the truth without adding harm. The truth is that you are human. The truth is that your strength changes from day to day. The truth is that some seasons require more than others. The truth is that old grief can make an ordinary task feel larger. The truth is that worry uses energy even when no one can see it. The truth is that loneliness is exhausting. Uncertainty is exhausting. Pretending is exhausting. Waiting is exhausting. Trying to stay hopeful can be exhausting. Being the person everyone trusts can be exhausting. Carrying a private fear while completing public duties can be exhausting. You may have been doing much more than your schedule reveals. A calendar cannot show the emotional work. It cannot show how often you talked yourself through fear. It cannot show the restraint it took not to answer from anger. It cannot show the concern that followed you from room to room. It cannot show the memories that were stirred by one small event. It cannot show how much of your attention was used by things you could not change. The hours may look ordinary from the outside. Inside, they may have required courage. You deserve credit for that courage. You also deserve release from having to be courageous every minute. Strength is not a pose you must maintain. It is not a face you owe the world. It is not the absence of need. Sometimes strength is admitting that you are depleted. Sometimes it is leaving something incomplete. Sometimes it is asking another person to help. Sometimes it is choosing not to answer until your words can come from a steadier place. Sometimes it is accepting that the body knows what the mind has been unwilling to admit. You have reached the end of what you can give today. That is information. It is not an accusation. You can receive it with respect. There is wisdom in recognizing the difference between resistance and depletion. Resistance may loosen when you begin. Depletion asks for recovery. Resistance says, "I do not feel like doing this." Depletion says, "I have little left with which to do it." You may have confused the two because you were taught to push through both. You may have called yourself lazy when you were running on too little. You may have called yourself unmotivated when you were discouraged. You may have called yourself weak when you were carrying grief. You may have called yourself difficult when you needed protection. You may have called yourself behind when you were surviving a season that required nearly everything. You can retire those judgments. They do not help you understand yourself. They only make the burden heavier. A kinder interpretation is available. You have been coping. You have been adapting. You have been using the tools you had. You have been trying to remain connected to people, duties, and hopes while parts of you were asking for care. No wonder you feel worn. No wonder your thoughts are scattered. No wonder small things feel larger now. The last hours of a demanding day are not the right place to measure your entire life. You are seeing everything through a system that has had too much input. Problems look more permanent when the mind is depleted. Distance feels greater. Fear sounds more certain. Regret feels more defining. Do not build your identity from what exhaustion says about you. It is not a reliable judge. It speaks in extremes. It forgets your progress. It overlooks your effort. It turns a difficult moment into a permanent conclusion. You can postpone every verdict. You do not need to decide what your life means while your eyes are heavy. You do not need to decide who you are while your body is asking for stillness. You do not need to decide whether the future will work out. The future is not standing here demanding an answer. Only this moment is here. This moment asks for less. You may feel guilty when you do less. Guilt often appears when an old rule is being broken. The rule may have said that you must keep everyone comfortable. The rule may have said that stopping is dangerous. The rule may have said that love is proven through sacrifice. The rule may have said that needs should be hidden. The rule may have said that your worth increases with your usefulness. When you begin to live differently, the old rule may protest. It may call care selfish. It may call boundaries unkind. It may call stillness wasteful. You do not need to believe it. A familiar voice is not always a truthful voice. Sometimes it is only an echo from a time when you had fewer choices. You have more choices now. Even if your responsibilities remain real, you can change the way you speak to yourself while carrying them. You can stop adding insult to strain. You can stop turning human need into evidence against your character. You can stop expecting yourself to function as if you have no history, no feelings, no body, and no limits. You are not a machine that failed to meet its output. You are a living person responding to a living world. Some days take more. Some losses remain close to the surface. Some responsibilities demand attention before you are ready. Some people receive your energy without realizing its value. Some situations remain unresolved despite your best effort. None of this makes you defective. It makes you affected. You are affected by what happens to you. You are affected by what you witness. You are affected by what people say and what they do not say. You are affected by uncertainty. You are affected by the absence of support. You are affected by the need to remain composed. It is natural to be affected. Sensitivity is not weakness. The ability to feel deeply is part of how you love. It is part of how you recognize pain in others. It is part of how you create warmth. At same openness means the world can reach you. It can tire you. It can fill your mind long after a conversation ends. It can leave you replaying the tone behind someone's words. You do not need to become hard to protect yourself. You need places where you are not required to stay open. You need hours in which no one is entering your attention. You need spaces where you are not interpreting, responding, or adjusting. You need to belong to yourself for a while. This is not rejection of the people you love. It is how you return to them without losing yourself entirely. Care that never turns inward becomes depletion. Giving that never meets receiving becomes strain. Attention that never comes home becomes absence from your own life. You are included in the circle of people who need your compassion. You are not outside it. You are not the person who must always provide while everyone else receives. You are not here only to make life easier for others. Your own inner life matters. Your peace matters. Your physical well-being matters. Your emotional safety matters. You do not need to wait for someone else to declare these things important. You can begin treating them as important now. The change may be quiet. It may begin with leaving one task for later. It may begin with not explaining your need for space. It may begin with closing the door. It may begin with turning the screen away. It may begin with accepting that someone can misunderstand you and you can still choose what you need. You are not responsible for controlling every interpretation. You can act with care and still disappoint someone. You can communicate clearly and still be misunderstood. You can give what you have and still encounter a person who wanted more. Their wanting does not create endless capacity in you. Their disappointment does not automatically mean you made the wrong choice. You are learning that kindness toward others does not require abandonment of yourself. That lesson may feel uncomfortable. It is still worth learning. You may need to hear this more than once in different forms before your body believes it. That is all right. Old ways were repeated for years. New care can be repeated without force. You can keep returning to the same honest understanding. You are not broken. You have been carrying too much without enough support. You are not failing. You have reached a natural limit. You are not losing yourself. You are being asked to return to yourself. You are not becoming less capable. You are recognizing that capability needs renewal. You are not giving up. You are ending the demand for this day. There is a difference. Ending the demand does not mean the challenges disappear. It means you stop meeting them with an empty heart. It means you respect the conditions that make clear thought possible. It means you stop treating depletion as a personal challenge to overcome through. Show more depletion. Your body has quiet work to do when you lie down. It does not switch off. It shifts its attention. Muscles that have been braced can begin to reduce their effort. The mind can sort pieces of the day without your conscious supervision. Memories can be organized. Emotional intensity can become less sharp. Energy can begin to return in ways you cannot command through willpower. This process is not magic. It is part of being human. You do not need to manage it. You only need to stop interrupting it with the demand to keep performing. Quiet supports you. Stillness supports you. Regular sleep supports the body and mind, but it is not a medical treatment and cannot replace professional care. If ongoing exhaustion, burnout, persistent low mood, anxiety, pain, or changes in sleep are affecting your life, you deserve real support from a qualified health professional. Seeking help is not an admission of weakness. It is another form of self-respect. You do not have to wait until things become unbearable. You do not have to prove that your struggle is serious enough. You are worthy of care before a crisis. You are worthy of being listened to. You are worthy of support that does not depend only on your ability to cope. The fact that you have managed does not mean you should have to manage alone. There are forms of help that belong in daylight. Conversations, appointments, practical changes, shared responsibilities, clearer boundaries. These things can be approached when you have more energy. You do not need to organize them now. For these hours, it is enough to remember that support exists and that reaching for it is wise. You are not meant to carry every kind of pain with private strength. Some burdens need another pair of hands. Some patterns need compassionate guidance. Some forms of depletion need attention beyond a good night. You can honor that truth without making this moment frightening. Nothing has to be diagnosed here. Nothing has to be solved. You are only being reminded that your well-being deserves more than endurance. It deserves care in all the forms that may be helpful. For now, your body can begin with what is available: a quieter room, a slower breath, the weight beneath you, the knowledge that no task is asking to be completed in this exact minute. The body understands small signals: a jaw that no longer has to stay ready, hands that do not need to grip, eyes that are not searching a screen, shoulders that are not preparing for another demand. These changes may seem small. Small changes are often how safety is learned, not through one grand moment, through many moments in which the expected danger does not arrive. You stop. Nothing terrible happens. You leave the task. The world continues. You do not answer immediately. The relationship survives. You say that you are unavailable. The day moves forward. You lie down before everything is finished. Morning still comes. Each experience teaches a new truth. You can stop and remain safe. You can have limits and remain loved. You can be unavailable and remain good. You can need help and remain capable. You can choose yourself without becoming selfish. These truths may feel tender. Let them remain tender. They do not need to become strong declarations. They can arrive like a quiet understanding, a small change in the way you interpret your own need, a little less suspicion toward your body, a little less shame around low energy, a little more respect for the person who has carried you through every difficult hour. Your body has not betrayed you by becoming weary. It has been faithful. It has moved you through the day. It has signaled when the load became too much. It has tried to protect your attention. It has used every available resource to keep you functioning. When it slows, it is not turning against you. It is asking you to cooperate. You can cooperate now, not by forcing calm, by withdrawing the demand. You can stop asking your body to prove that it can keep going. You can stop asking your mind to produce answers from emptiness. You can stop asking your heart to remain cheerful for the comfort of others. There is room here for the truth of how you feel. You do not need to brighten it. You do not need to name it correctly. You do not need to transform it into gratitude. You can be exactly where you are. If you feel sadness, it can sit quietly. If you feel anger, it can cool without being judged. If you feel nothing, numbness can be understood as another way the system protects itself. If you feel relief, you do not need to apologize for it. If you feel tears, they do not mean you are going backward. Emotion often becomes visible when control is no longer required. The face loosens, the chest responds, the throat releases what it could not express earlier. You can let this happen without turning it into a problem. A feeling moving through you is not the same as a feeling taking over your life. It has a beginning. It changes. It becomes something else. You have survived many internal weather changes. You do not need to chase this one away. You can let the bed carry your weight while the feeling completes its quiet movement. You do not have to understand every tear. You do not have to justify every ache. The body sometimes speaks before language arrives. You can listen without interrogation. You can say, "Something in me has had a hard day." You can say, "Something in me needs kindness." You can say, "I do not need to know everything to respond with care." That response is enough. It may be the beginning of a new habit. Instead of asking, "What is wrong with me?" you ask, "What has been hard for me?" Instead of asking, "Why can't I handle this?" you ask, "What have I already been handling?" Instead of asking, "How do I force myself to do more?" you ask, "What would help me return to steadiness?" These questions do not excuse avoidance. They create understanding. They lead you toward choices that are more sustainable. A frightened person needs safety before instruction. A depleted person needs renewal before pressure. A hurting person needs to be seen before being corrected. You can offer yourself what you have offered so many others: patience before advice, warmth before expectation, understanding before improvement. You have known how to do this for other people. You have listened to their reasons. You have considered their history. You have forgiven their tired reactions. You have reminded them that one difficult day does not define them. That wisdom belongs to you too. Let it turn in your direction. Let it become personal. You are not an exception to compassion. You are not required to earn the kindness you give freely. You are not too complicated to care for. You are not too late to begin. The work of returning to yourself does not need to be completed now. It begins through moments like this. Moments when you choose not to attack yourself. Moments when you believe the body's message. Moments when you let an unfinished task remain unfinished. Moments when you stop asking whether you deserve what you need. Need itself is enough. You need quiet. You need warmth. You need fewer demands. You need time in which no one is taking anything from you. These needs do not make you difficult. they make you alive. Life moves in rhythms, effort and renewal, speaking and silence, giving and receiving, movement and stillness. You were never meant to remain in only one half of the rhythm. Constant effort becomes strain. Constant giving becomes emptiness. Constant readiness becomes fear. The return matters. The inward movement matters. The hours in which nothing visible is achieved matter. This is where unseen repair begins. Not because every worry disappears, because the body is no longer being asked to act as though worry requires constant action. You have done what can be done today. What remains belongs to another hour. You do not need to borrow energy from tomorrow to keep working on yesterday. Let the account close. Let the final judgment wait. Let your worth remain untouched by the incomplete. You are still good. You are still deserving of care. You are still enough for this day. Your weariness is not a verdict. It is a message. You have heard it now. You can answer with kindness. Your body knows how to continue without being watched. It does not need instructions for every quiet task. When the demands become fewer, it begins using its energy differently. Breathing can deepen without being ordered. The earth can keep its faithful rhythm. The muscles can stop preparing for work that is no longer happening. The mind can begin sorting what felt crowded during the day. You do not have to supervise any of this. You have already spent enough time supervising. You have checked the clock. You have checked the door. You have checked on other people. You have checked your words before speaking them. You have checked whether everyone had what they needed. You have checked whether you were doing enough. Now the body can do its quiet work without another pair of eyes upon it. This is one of the ways stillness supports you. It creates fewer demands. It reduces the number of things competing for your attention. It gives the systems within you a chance to turn away from constant response. The body does not become lazy when it lies still. It changes its work. Much of that work is hidden. You cannot see the small repairs. You cannot watch the mind sort a difficult conversation from an ordinary one. You cannot see the way emotional intensity may become less sharp after enough quiet hours. You cannot measure every piece of strength returning. Hidden does not mean inactive. Unseen does not mean unimportant. You are familiar with visible effort. You know the effort of answering, cleaning, planning, carrying, organizing, preparing, and showing up. You know the satisfaction of completing something you can point to. The work of renewal is different. It often leaves no proof in the room. Nothing is checked off. Nothing is arranged into a neat result. No one applauds. Yet the difference can be felt when the body has received enough care. The mind may become less crowded. The eyes may feel clearer. The same problem may seem more manageable. A choice that felt impossible may become less tangled. You may find a little more space between what happens and how you respond. This is not because every challenge has changed. It is because you are meeting it with more of yourself available. There are forms of strength that cannot be forced. You cannot command clarity from an overwhelmed mind. You cannot threaten the body into true renewal. You cannot shame yourself into lasting steadiness. Pressure can produce movement for a while. It cannot provide what quiet hours provide. This is why stopping matters, not as a reward for perfect performance, not as something you earn after every duty is complete. It is part of the rhythm that makes continued effort possible. The body asks for regular care, not occasional rescue. It would rather be listened to early than carried to the edge again and again. You may not always be able to respond early. Life can be demanding. Some seasons offer very little space. Some responsibilities cannot be placed down easily. There may be people who depend on you. There may be work that must be done. There may be circumstances you did not choose. You do not need to pretend these realities are small. You can honor them and still honor the cost. You can say, "This is necessary," without saying, "Therefore, I should feel nothing." You can say, "Others need me," without saying, "Therefore, I do not matter." You can say, "I must continue," without deciding that continuation should happen without support. The need for renewal is not removed by responsibility. It becomes more important. A person who carries much needs places where the load is taken seriously. Even when no one else fully understands, you can stop dismissing your own experience. You can become someone who believes the signals within. When the eyes feel heavy, you can believe them. When your thoughts begin repeating, you can recognize that the mind has reached its limit for useful problem solving. When simple tasks feel strangely difficult, you can respond with curiosity rather than insult. When irritation rises quickly, you can ask whether your inner resources are low. When you feel close to tears over something small, you can remember that the tears may belong to more than that one moment. The body gathers what the day does not make room for. It carries what you postpone. It contains what you cannot express safely. It keeps going while you say, "Later." Eventually, later arrives. This hour can be that later. Not an hour for analysis, an hour for less resistance. An hour in which the body does not need to hide its weariness from you. It may feel strange to offer care without first creating an explanation. You may want to understand everything, why you feel this way, why the day affected you so deeply, why you cannot recover as quickly as you think you should. Understanding can come It does not have to come before comfort. A child does not need to explain every ache before being covered. A frightened heart does not need to present a perfect argument before warmth is offered. You can respond before you have all the words. You can say, "I may not understand, but I will not leave you alone with this." That promise can be enough for now. It turns your inner voice away from interrogation. It changes the atmosphere within you. The body hears the difference between pressure and companionship. It knows when it is being treated as a problem. It knows when it is being listened to. Perhaps you learned long ago that discomfort should be ignored. You may have heard people praise the one who never stopped. You may have watched adults continue through illness, grief, worry, and exhaustion because there was no other choice. You may have absorbed the belief that love means enduring without complaint. Those lessons can remain even after circumstances change. They can make you feel uneasy when you are not useful. They can make care feel excessive. They can make the bed feel like a plane. See where you should recover quickly so you can return to service. You are permitted to learn another way. You can respect where those lessons came from without carrying all of them forward. The people before you may have survived through hardness. You do not dishonor them by choosing more tenderness. You do not betray your family by listening to your body. You do not become ungrateful by wanting a life with enough room to breathe. You are not required to repeat every form of suffering that taught you how to be strong. Strength can change shape. It can become more honest. It can include receiving. It can include asking. It can include ending the day before every demand has been satisfied. It can include trusting that care is useful even when it produces nothing visible. The hours of sleep are not empty hours. They support memory, attention, emotional balance, and physical recovery. They cannot promise that every difficulty will disappear. They cannot replace the support you may need from people, professionals, or changes in your circumstances. They are one part of caring for a human life. One important part. Your body is not asking for a miracle. It is asking for the ordinary conditions that help it function. Darkness, quiet, safety where possible, time without performance, a chance to move through its natural cycles without being interrupted by worry every few minutes. You do not need to create perfect conditions. Perfect conditions are rare. There may be noise. There may be responsibilities waiting in the next room. There may be a mind that continues speaking. There may be grief beside you. There may be uncertainty beneath everything. Care can still begin in imperfect surroundings. The smallest reduction in demand matters. One screen turned away. One question left unanswered. One muscle no longer tightened. One expectation withdrawn. One decision postponed until daylight. You do not have to build an ideal night. You can make this one less demanding. That is enough to begin. You may feel an urge to evaluate whether it is working. You may listen for calm. You may check whether your thoughts have slowed. You may wonder whether you are doing this correctly. That is another form of work. You can set down the evaluation too. The mind does not have to become blank. The body does not have to become completely loose. You do not have to cross a particular line before you are worthy of lying here. You can be unsettled and still receive the benefit of stopping. You can have thoughts and no longer follow each one. You can feel tension and no longer add fear to it. You can be awake and no longer work. There is a difference between wakefulness and duty. You can be awake without returning to the list. You can be awake without preparing tomorrow. You can be awake without correcting yesterday. You can lie here as a person, not a project. That distinction matters. You have spent many hours being shaped by what was required. Now there is room to remember something older than obligation, a sense of being covered, a sense of warmth being arranged around you, a sense that someone once believed the night should meet you with care. There may be a memory, clear or faint, of blanket edges tucked beneath a mattress, hands smoothing the fabric, corners folded close, the small space around your body made ready, nothing grand, nothing spoken loudly, only the quiet engineering of being loved at night. A blanket did not merely lie across you. Its edges were secured. The loose fabric was drawn close enough to say that you would not be left exposed. Someone took a moment to make the bed feel contained. They considered the places where cold air might enter. They pressed the edges beneath the mattress. They made a boundary around warmth. The room may have been ordinary. The sheets may not have matched. The floor may have creaked. There may have been sounds elsewhere in the house. Still, those folded edges created a small feeling of protection. They said that for these hours, you belonged here. You did not need to hold the blanket in place. You did not need to remain alert so the warmth would stay. Someone had already prepared it. The care was built into the way the fabric met the bed. You could move a little and still remain covered. You could turn toward the wall. You could draw your knees closer. You could let your hands become empty. The tucked edges did what caring hands intended. They stayed. Maybe your childhood did not always feel safe. Maybe no one consistently prepared comfort for you. Maybe the image brings longing rather than memory. You do not have to pretend you received what you needed. You can acknowledge what was missing. You can grieve the nights when you had to soothe yourself. You can recognize the child who listened for footsteps, arguments, doors, or silence that felt too sharp. You can honor the one who learned to stay aware. You can care for that part now without rewriting the past. The image does not need to belong to something that truly happened. It can represent what should have happened. A child should have been made to feel protected. A child should have known that care did not depend on usefulness. A child should have been able to close their eyes without managing the feelings of the adults around them. A child should have been able to trust the night. If that was not always given to you, the absence was not your fault. You were not too sensitive. You were not too needy. You were not difficult for wanting reassurance. You were young. You were learning what the world was. You deserved warmth that did not need to be earned. That truth remains. The need did not become shameful because time passed. The adult you became still responds to small signs of protection. A closed curtain, a familiar sheet, a pillow placed where the neck can release, the weight of a blanket settling evenly, the edge of the fabric drawn close enough to create a boundary between you and the open room. These details speak to the body. They say that the day has an outside. They say that not everything can enter. They say that you have a place within the place, a smaller space, a protected space, a space where demands do not have automatic access. The blanket's edge is not a wall against life. It is a temporary border around renewal. Beyond it, tasks remain tasks. Inside it, you are not required to answer them. Beyond it, people may have expectations. Inside it, those expectations do not get to touch your body. Beyond it, tomorrow may contain choices. Inside it, no choice has to be made. You can imagine the fabric drawn close around your shoulders, not tight, not restrictive, only near enough to say that you have not been forgotten. The edge beneath the mattress keeps its quiet promise. Warmth will not be asked to float loosely above you. It has somewhere to stay. Care has been given a shape. You may have spent much of your life being the one who created that shape for other people. You checked that a child was covered. You made sure someone had a pillow. You lowered the light. You moved quietly so another person could remain asleep. You remembered who became cold. You adjusted the room. You cared through details. These acts may have seemed small. They were not small to the body that received them. Care often enters through ordinary things. A glass placed nearby, a door closed carefully, a blanket straightened, a voice lowered, a final look to make sure someone is comfortable. Love does not always arrive through declarations. Sometimes it appears as an edge folded under. Sometimes it says, without words, I thought about what you might need after I left the room. You have given this kind of care. You know its language. Now that language can turn toward you. You do not have to wait for another person to understand every hidden need. You can begin creating signs of safety for yourself. You can draw the fabric closer. You can adjust what presses against you. You can choose the side that feels easier. You can remove what is irritating. You can lower one demand. You can treat your comfort as something worth arranging. This is not indulgence. It is attention. You have offered attention outward all day. A small part of it can return. You do not need to create a perfect cocoon. You do not need to chase a special feeling. The meaning is in the care itself. The act of arranging warmth says that you are worth preparing for. It says that your body does not have to accept whatever is left over. It says that you are not an afterthought in your own life. You can be the person who you can be, thinks ahead for you. The person who makes the edge secure. The person who says the cold does not need to reach you from every side. The person who does not leave your needs loose and unattended. There is deep comfort in containment. During the day, your attention may spread everywhere. It moves toward voices, screens, problems, memories, plans, and the emotional weather of other people. It becomes scattered across many places. Here, it can return within the small boundary of the bed. The edges remind you where you are, not in tomorrow, not in the conversation, not in someone else's thoughts. Here, beneath this covering, supported by this surface, inside this hour. Your life may still feel large. Your immediate world can become smaller. This body, this blanket, this breath, this protected space. Nothing beyond these edges needs your response now. The simplicity may feel unfamiliar. You may expect the mind to resist. It may reach beyond the bed. It may bring back the list. You can meet it with the same patient care used to tuck loose fabric beneath the mattress. No anger, no force, only a quiet return. This thought does not need to remain open. This worry does not need to hang over the side. This unfinished conversation can be gathered closer and placed down. You are not throwing anything away. You are giving it a place until morning. The tucked edge does not destroy the world outside the blanket. It only keeps the warmth from escaping into it. Your energy can remain with you for these hours. It does not need to flow toward every person you are thinking about. It does not need to reach across distance and imagine how they feel. It does not need to prepare for their reactions. It can remain inside your own life. You may care for them again later. For now, care stays here. It is gathered rather than scattered. It is close rather than reaching. It is beneath the edge with you. The part of you that has been watching everyone can turn inward. The part that remembers what others need can remember you. The part that makes sure no one is left exposed can check the places where you have felt unprotected, not to solve every wound, only to bring warmth near it. There may be an old loneliness that becomes clearer in quiet rooms. Do not be ashamed of it. Loneliness often remembers the hours when comfort was needed and did not arrive. It can remain alert long after the original night has ended. It may ask, "Will anyone come?" You can answer without making promises about other people. You can say, "I am here with you." You can say, "I will not mock this need." You can say, "You do not have to hide beneath strength." You can say, "Warmth belongs here too." The answer does not erase the past. It changes what happens in this moment. You are no longer leaving that part alone. you. You are not telling it to grow up. You are not demanding that it stop needing comfort. You are meeting it with maturity that protects rather than dismisses. The adult self does not have to become another harsh voice. It can become the one who enters quietly, the one who smooths the sheet, the one who checks the corners, the one who understands that small details matter after a long day, the one who does not ask for an explanation before offering warmth. This care can be wordless. It can be the way you stop arguing with your need. It can be the decision not to rise for another unnecessary task. It can be the screen left untouched. It can be the shoulders no longer pulled upward. It can be the blanket drawn close enough to remind the body that the outside world does not have unlimited access. You have a boundary now, a humble boundary made of fabric, darkness, and a decision to stop. Within it, you do not owe productivity. Within it, you do not owe cheerfulness. Within it, you do not owe an immediate reply. Within it, you do not owe anyone proof that you are coping well. You can be quiet without explaining. You can be vulnerable without displaying it. You can need more than you receive today. This space can know the truth. The mattress does not ask you to improve before supporting your weight. The blanket does not ask whether you completed enough. The tucked edge does not loosen because you made a mistake. It stays where caring hands placed it. Support can be this uncomplicated. You lie down, it meets you. You become heavy. It does not withdraw. You turn. It adjusts around you. You do not have to impress what supports you. You only have to stop refusing its help. Let the surface beneath you take what you have been carrying upright. Let the fabric around you mark the end of duty. Let the small boundary become believable. You are inside the part of the day where effort is no longer required. The loose edges are being gathered. The warmth is being kept near. The one who cared for everyone else is not forgotten. You are within the care now. You do not have to keep the edges in place by yourself. The fabric can carry some of that work. The mattress can receive what is folded beneath it. The quiet boundary can remain even when your attention drifts. You have spent enough of your life believing that safety depends on your constant awareness. You have watched. You have remembered. You have anticipated. You have kept part of yourself near the doorway, listening for what might be needed next. That part may not know what to do when no one is calling. It may keep searching for a reason to rise. It may look toward tomorrow and begin arranging the hours. It may tell you that one more thought will make you safer. One more plan, one more review, one more attempt to prepare for every possible outcome. You can understand why it does this. It learned that being ready reduced surprise. It learned that usefulness brought approval. It learned that noticing early could prevent trouble. It learned to hold loose pieces together before anyone else saw them falling. There is no need to shame that vigilance. It has served you. It has protected relationships. It has helped you respond quickly. It has carried you through periods when much depended on your attention. Now it can be thanked and relieved, not dismissed, not pushed away, relieved. Like hands that have been smoothing sheets for hours and can finally become still. Like fingers that have pressed every corner into place and no longer need to check whether the fabric will remain. The edge has been tucked. The warmth has somewhere to stay. You can stop testing it. A part of you may ask whether letting go means becoming careless. It does not. Carelessness forgets what matters. This moment remembers what matters and includes you. It remembers that tomorrow needs a person with some inner space. It remembers that love cannot be sustained through endless self-erasure. It remembers that attention is a resource. It remembers that a human life needs periods in which nothing is being taken from it. You are not leaving your duties behind forever. You are placing them beyond the edge for a few hours. They remain part of your life. They do not remain inside your body every second. A duty can exist without tightening your shoulders. A concern can be real without occupying every thought. A person can matter without being carried through the entire night. A choice can be important without being made while you are depleted. The list does not need to disappear. It only needs to stop lying beside your heart. Imagine each unfinished item becoming less sharp, not erased, folded. The unanswered message folded into a smaller shape. The appointment folded. The bill folded. The conversation folded. The room that needs attention folded. The promise you are afraid of forgetting folded carefully and placed outside the place where your body is trying to settle. Nothing is thrown away. Nothing is neglected. Everything is given a temporary place. You have been afraid that if you stop thinking about something, it will fall beyond reach. Yet there are many ways to remember without carrying tension. A note can remember for you. A calendar can remember. A page can remember. Morning can remember. You do not have to use your muscles as storage. You do not have to keep your jaw tight so a task remains important. You do not have to keep your chest alert so love remains real. You do not have to repeat a fear to prove that you are responsible. Responsibility can be quiet. Love can be quiet. Care can remain even when attention moves inward. You are not betraying anyone by becoming unavailable to worry. You are not abandoning the future by refusing to rehearse it. You are not losing control of your life by letting your body become heavy. Control has never been the same as safety. Sometimes control is only fear working very hard. Sometimes it is an old child standing at the edge of the bed, believing that if everything is watched closely enough, Nothing painful will enter. That child deserves kindness, not another assignment, not another demand to be mature, not another reason to remain awake. You can speak inwardly with the voice that should have been there. You can say that the door is closed. You can say that the blanket is arranged. You can say that the loose edge will not be left flapping in the cold. You can say that no one is asking the child within to protect the room. The protection has changed hands. The grown part of you can stand guard through wise choices made in daylight. The night does not need a frightened child on duty. The child can lie down. The child can receive what should always have been given: warmth without performance, closeness without explanation, a boundary without anger, care without a debt attached to it. You may feel grief when you imagine this. Grief for the times no one noticed how alert you were. Grief for the comfort you learned to give yourself in silence. Grief for the nights when your body stayed ready because the world around you did not feel steady. You do not have to push that grief away. It can be acknowledged without becoming the whole room. You can say, "That should have been kinder." You can say, "I deserved to feel protected." You can say, "It was not my job to carry what belonged to the adults around me." You can say, "I do not have to repeat that old night forever." The past may remain part of you. It does not have to remain in charge of every hour. The bed beneath you is here now. The fabric around you is here now. Your present self is here now. You have more language, more choice, more understanding. You can create what was missing in small, honest ways. You can become trustworthy to yourself. Trust begins when you respond to your own signals. When you feel overwhelmed and do not call yourself weak. When you need distance and do not force closeness. When you reach your limit and stop making promises from guilt. When you feel hurt and do not explain it away before listening. When your body asks for fewer demands and you believe it. Each response tucks another loose edge into place. Each act says that you will not leave yourself exposed merely to keep everyone else comfortable. This is how inner safety is built. Not through grand statements, through follow-through. You tell yourself that the day is complete and you stop working. You tell yourself that the message can wait and you do not reach for it. You tell yourself that the feeling matters and you do not mock it. You tell yourself that you need care and you offer something real. The body learns from what you do repeatedly. It notices when your promises become actions. It notices when you say no and remain beside yourself through the discomfort. It notices when someone is disappointed and you do not rush to abandon your own boundary. It notices when you choose a quieter evening before reaching complete depletion. These moments become new evidence. Evidence that stopping does not always lead to danger. Evidence that care can include you. Evidence that love does not disappear when you are unavailable. Evidence that the world can continue without your constant management. You may not believe all of this fully yet. Belief can come later. Willingness is enough. You can be willing to consider that the edge will stay. You can be willing to let the mattress carry what your hands have been carrying. You can be willing to stop checking whether comfort is still there. You can be willing to receive 1 hour without earning it. You can be willing to let the old rule remain unanswered. The old rule may say that every task must be completed. You can leave it unanswered. The old rule may say that a good person never becomes unavailable. You can leave it unanswered. The old rule may say that the needs of others are more urgent than your own. You can leave it unanswered. Silence can be your response. You do not have to win an argument with the past. You can stop obeying it for these hours. Let the folded edge become a quiet statement. Enough has entered this day. Enough has been carried inside this body. Enough attention has moved outward. Enough pieces have been kept from slipping. Nothing more needs to be gathered now. You are the one being gathered, not gathered for another task, not gathered so you can return quickly to service, gathered because you belong within care, gathered because the loose parts of you deserve somewhere to settle, gathered because no person should have to remain scattered across every demand. Duty is tucked away. Care gathers me. You do not need to say it with certainty. You can let the words rest near you. Duty is tucked away. Care gathers me. You may feel some resistance. You may hear a thought that says the duty is not truly gone. That is correct. It has not disappeared. It has only been moved beyond this immediate boundary. The sentence does not deny your life. It changes what your life is asking from you in this hour. Duty is tucked away. Care gathers me. Let the words become less like an instruction and more like a description of what is being prepared. The unfinished things are folded outside the bed. Your attention is no longer stretched toward them. The scattered pieces begin returning. The part thinking about work comes closer. The part worrying about family comes closer. The part replaying old words comes closer. The part predicting tomorrow comes closer. They do not need to disappear. They can gather within the same small space. One body, one blanket, 1 hour. No separate piece sent into the future. No separate piece trapped in the past. You are not required to become whole through force. Wholeness can begin by no longer pulling yourself in every direction. The person you were at work can come home. The person who cared for others can come home. The person who kept smiling can come home. The person who swallowed frustration can come home. The person who worried quietly can come home. The person who tried to appear fine can come home. All of them belong beneath the same covering. None need to explain what happened before being welcomed. You do not have to choose which version deserves kindness. The successful version does not receive more warmth than the struggling one. The patient version is not loved more than the irritated one. The productive version is not more worthy than the empty one. The person who made a mistake is not placed outside the blanket. No part of you is left in the cold as punishment. This does not mean every behavior is approved. It means every part remains worthy of understanding. Change grows more safely inside belonging than rejection. When you reject the part that struggled, it becomes more frightened. When you meet it with honesty, it can listen. You can say, "That choice caused pain." You can also say, "You are not being abandoned." You can say, "We will make repair." You can also say, "We do not have to do it while depleted." You can say, "Tomorrow will require courage." You can also say, "These hours do not." The edge beneath the mattress becomes a line between action and renewal. Outside it, there will be conversations. Inside it, no response is being demanded. Outside it, there may be consequences. Inside it, self-punishment is not useful. Outside it, you may need to decide. Inside it, uncertainty can remain unanswered. The boundary is temporary, but it is real. You are permitted to treat it as real. You may have spent years letting the outside world enter every private space. Work entered meals. Worry entered conversations. Other people's moods entered your body. The future entered the evening. Old memories entered new situations. The screen entered the final moments before your eyes closed. No wonder you have felt crowded. There has been so little space where nothing else was permitted to enter. This bed can become one of those spaces. Not perfect, not protected from every sound or thought. Protected by intention. Protected by a choice to stop inviting the list inward. Protected by the understanding that your attention does not belong to everyone at all times. You can reclaim it without anger. You can close the gate without resentment. You can say, "Not now," without saying, "Never." Not now to the message. Not now to the explanation. Not now to the plan. Not now to the fear. Not now to the self-judgment. Not now to the question that has no answer. Each not now folds another edge close. It does not reject life. It makes room for you within life. You may worry that you will lose momentum. You may fear that stopping will make it harder to begin again. A body that has received care is not less capable. A mind that has had space is not less committed. Renewal does not erase discipline. It gives discipline something to stand on. You have tried to build strength on depletion. You know how unstable that feels. Everything becomes harder than it needs to be. Small tasks require negotiation. Minor problems feel personal. Simple decisions become crowded. Words come out sharper. hope becomes difficult to access. You do not need to wait until that happens every time. You can begin responding before the last resource is gone. The body deserves more than emergency care. It deserves ordinary maintenance, ordinary warmth, ordinary pauses, ordinary evenings when enough is enough. There is dignity in this ordinary care. No dramatic transformation is required. You are not trying to become a new person before morning. You are learning to stop leaving yourself outside your own kindness. That is meaningful enough. If these words have begun to make your nights feel less lonely, you may subscribe for softer nights and return whenever the day has asked too much of you. There is no pressure in that invitation, only a place you can remember. A place where being worn down does not make you a problem. A place where you do not have to arrive cheerful. A place where the list is permitted to wait. Now the invitation can pass. Nothing else is required from you. You do not need to respond. You do not need to decide. The body can remain where it is. The fabric can remain close. The boundary can keep doing its work. You may still feel something unfinished inside. A sentence that wants completion. A worry that wants certainty. A feeling that wants to be named. You do not have to finish what is moving within you. Some inner processes complete themselves when they are no longer chased. A feeling can settle after being acknowledged. A thought can lose urgency after being heard. A question can become smaller when it is not repeated. You can trust that not every form of completion comes through effort. Some completion comes through being left alone. A stirred glass becomes clear when it is no longer stirred. Your metaphor does not need to change for that truth to remain. The blanket too becomes still when no one keeps pulling at it. If you continue checking the edges, the fabric never settles. If you keep lifting it to see whether warmth remains, cold air enters again. There comes a moment when care asks for trust, not complete trust, a small trust, enough to stop lifting the corner, enough to leave the fold where it is, enough to believe that what has been arranged can continue without your hand upon it. You can offer that small trust now. The edge is tucked, the body is covered. The room is permitted to become ordinary. You do not have to create a sacred feeling. You do not have to feel deeply moved. You do not have to become peaceful. You only need to stop interfering with the care already available. The bed is carrying you. The blanket is near. The day is outside this boundary. Your breath is happening. These facts are modest. They are also enough. When life has felt uncertain, you may look for large signs that everything will be all right. Large signs rarely arrive at the exact moment they are wanted. Small signs are here. The surface does not withdraw beneath you. The fabric does not ask what you achieved. The darkness does not compare you with anyone. The room does not require an explanation. These are small forms of acceptance. You can receive them. You can let the lack of demand become its own kind of kindness. No one is asking you to speak. No one is asking you to be impressive. No one is asking you to understand yourself completely. For once, you can be present without performing your presence. You can exist without translating your existence into value. This is difficult for people who learn to earn their place. You may have learned that belonging came through helping. You may have learned that praise came when you caused no trouble. You may have learned that attention arrived when you achieved. You may still feel the old question beneath every quiet moment. What am I contributing? Right now, you are contributing nothing. That is not a failure. It is the point. You are not here to contribute. You are here to receive support from what surrounds you. This may feel vulnerable. Receiving means you are not controlling every exchange. Receiving means something meets you before you have paid for it. Receiving means care is not a reward. The mind may resist because it expects a debt. It may ask what will be required later. You can tell it that no debt is being created. The blanket does not send an invoice. The mattress does not keep a record. The quiet does not demand repayment. Support can be given without turning into obligation. You deserve experiences that teach you this, even if they begin with something as humble as lying beneath a tucked edge. The child within you may understand before the adult mind does. The child recognizes the meaning of preparation. Someone thought about the cold. Someone made sure the edge would stay. Someone decided that comfort mattered before the child asked. You can be that someone now. You have thought about what your body needs. You have brought yourself here. You have chosen not to continue the day indefinitely. You have arranged a boundary. You have made space for a need before it becomes unbearable. This is love in practical form. It does not need beautiful language. It can be felt through what you stop demanding. You stop demanding that the body carry tension as proof of responsibility. You stop demanding that the mind solve what has no answer yet. You stop demanding that the heart remain open to everyone. You stop demanding that the struggling parts hide. You stop demanding that comfort be earned. The absence of these demands creates room. Within that room, your breathing may change. Your face may loosen. Your thoughts may become less tightly connected. You may begin losing track of where one sentence ends and another begins. Nothing needs to be corrected. The mind is moving away from duty. Let it move slowly. Let it forget the exact order of things. Let it stop arranging. Let it stop rehearsing. You do not need to carry the structure of the day any farther. The tucked edge provides enough structure. A line beneath the mattress, a boundary around warmth, a small, reliable shape. You are inside it. The duties are outside it. Care gathers what the day scattered. Care gathers the voice that became too quiet. Care gathers the body that kept moving. Care gathers the heart that stayed available. Care gathers the one who thought they had to earn every good thing. You are not being gathered so you can become useful again quickly. You are being gathered because scattered living hurts. You are being brought back from every place your attention traveled. Back from tomorrow. Back from regret. Back from comparison. Back from another person's mood. Back from the task. Back from the fear. Back into the body that has waited for you. If the full affirmation feels too far away, there is a smaller truth you can hold. I am willing to come back to myself. No certainty is needed. Willingness opens the edge. Willingness lets one part return. You do not have to gather everything at once. One thought can come back. One muscle can stop serving the day. One small part of your attention can remain here. That is enough movement inward. You have already traveled far today. You do not need another journey. You only need to stop leaving. Stay near the warmth. Stay near the weight beneath you. Stay within the boundary that has been prepared. Let the loose edge remain tucked. Let the old vigilance understand that someone else is caring for this hour, that someone is you. Not the demanding version, not the critical version, the steady one. The one who knows that kindness is practical. The one who knows that a person cannot remain scattered forever. The one who draws the fabric close and asks nothing more. The day has been folded beyond you. Care is gathering you now. The body can begin to understand what the mind has been hearing. It does not need a command. It needs time. It needs the pressure to become smaller. It needs to know that no new demand is waiting at the end of each breath. The blanket remains near. Its edges stay folded beneath you. The warmth does not depend on your concentration. You can forget about it for a moment, and it will still be there. You can drift away from these words, and the small boundary will remain. Nothing needs to be held in place by effort. Let your attention move toward the top of your head, not to examine it, only to remember that it has carried you through this day. The skin across your scalp has tightened around concentration, concern, and the effort of remaining composed. Thank this part for staying alert. As the breath leaves, let the skin across your head become less prepared. Let the forehead know that no answer is written there. It does not have to press toward tomorrow. It does not have to hold the shape of every worry. Thank your forehead for every moment it gathered itself when the day became difficult. As the breath leaves, let the lines across it become less necessary. The space between your eyebrows has worked hard. It has narrowed around screens, decisions, doubts, and things you could not understand. Thank that small space for trying to focus. As the breath leaves, let it widen. Let your eyebrows become unguarded. Let them stop asking what comes next. Your eyelids have opened for everything that needed to be seen. They have watched faces. They have searched for signals. They have read what was written and what was not written. They have stayed open through hours when they wanted darkness. Thank them for all they witnessed. As the breath leaves, let the lids become heavier. They do not need to look after anyone now. The muscles around your eyes can loosen their careful attention. They have held back tears. They have helped you appear steady. They have squinted into light and strain. They have watched the clock when you wished the day would slow. Thank them for their quiet work. As the breath leaves, let them sink toward stillness. Your cheeks have carried expressions meant to reassure other people. They have lifted into smiles when you were trying to make the room easier. They have held the face you believed the moment required. Thank them for helping you move through what was asked. As the breath leaves, let the face become private. No expression is needed here. Your ears have remained open to voices, notifications, questions, changes in tone, and the sounds that told you whether everything was all right. Thank them for listening. As the breath leaves, let them stop reaching toward every sound. A noise can be only a noise. It does not automatically require you. Your jaw has carried words you did not say. It has tightened around frustration. It has helped you remain careful when your patience was thin. Thank it for every moment it protected what mattered. As the breath leaves, let the teeth separate slightly. Let the jaw understand that silence no longer requires strength. Your tongue has formed explanations, agreements, reassurances, and responses. It has searched for the right words. It has held back the ones that would have caused harm. Thank it for serving you. As the breath leaves, let it lie without preparing the next sentence. Your lips do not have to answer. They do not have to smile. They do not have to shape an apology before morning. Thank them for everything they expressed. As the breath leaves, let them become easy. Your throat has carried the words you swallowed. It has tightened around emotion that had nowhere safe to go. It has continued working even when your voice felt small. Thank your throat for holding so much. As the breath leaves, let the space there become open enough for nothing to be said. Your neck has turned toward every call. It has bent over work. It has kept your head lifted when your energy was low. Thank it for supporting your attention. As the breath leaves, let the neck give more of its weight to what is beneath you. It does not need to keep you upright. Your shoulders have mistaken responsibility for something that must be carried physically. They have risen when you worried. They have hardened when you expected difficulty. They have stayed prepared to lift what someone else could not. Thank them for trying to make you capable of everything. As the breath leaves, let them drop away from your ears. The blanket can meet them where the duty ends. Your upper arms have reached, carried, pulled, pushed, and steadied. They have embraced people. They have completed ordinary work that kept life moving. Thank them for their strength. As the breath leaves, let them become heavier against the surface beneath them. Your elbows have bent around countless small needs. They have made your hands available again and again. Thank them for helping you respond. As the breath leaves, let the joints become loose. Nothing needs to be reached for. Your forearms have carried bags, dishes, papers, devices, and tension no one could see. Thank them for every unnoticed act. As the breath leaves, let their weight be received. You do not have to keep your arms ready. Your wrists have turned toward work all day. They have supported movements so familiar you rarely think about them. Thank them for their quiet service. As the breath leaves, let them become unguarded. Your hands have done so much. They have cleaned, they have prepared, they have typed, they have held, they have pointed, opened, closed, passed, lifted, and repaired. They have offered comfort, they have hidden nervousness. They have carried the list in ways the mind could not. Thank your hands, thank every finger. As the breath leaves, let the palms open. Let the fingers uncurl. Nothing needs to be kept from falling now. The edges have already been secured. Your chest has made room for concern. It has tightened when you felt uncertain. It has carried love, disappointment, anticipation, and the effort of staying calm. Thank your chest for protecting what is tender. As the breath leaves, let the ribs release a little of their guard. You do not need the deepest breath. You do not need to breathe in any special way. Let the body choose. Your heart has remained faithful through every version of this day. It continued when you were distracted. It continued when you were discouraged. It continued when you gave more attention to everyone else. Thank it for its steady work. As the breath leaves, let the space around your heart become less crowded. The people you love do not need to be carried inside every beat. Your upper back has supported the face you showed the world. It has held you upright in chairs, in rooms, in conversations, and through moments when you wanted to withdraw. Thank it for keeping you present. As the breath leaves, let the upper back spread across the mattress. It no longer has to hold the day above you. The middle of your back has absorbed hours of sitting, standing, turning, and reaching. It has carried pressure without language. Thank it for its endurance. As the breath leaves, Let it be met fully by the surface beneath it. Support does not need to be earned. Your lower back has tried to make a foundation beneath everything you carried. It has tightened when you felt unsupported. It has remained involved in almost every movement. Thank it for staying with you. As the breath leaves, let the muscles there stop proving that they can bear more. The bed is beneath them now. Your stomach has responded to worry before the mind could name it. It has tightened around uncertainty. It has held hunger, fullness, unease, and the effort of getting through. Thank it for speaking honestly. As the breath leaves, let the belly become less concerned with appearing controlled. It can rise. It can fall. It can be exactly as it is. The sides of your waist have bent around tasks and turned you toward what needed attention. Thank them for their flexibility. As the breath leaves, let them widen into the support around you. Your hips have carried the weight of movement and stillness. They have helped you stand when the day asked you to remain. They have held tensions tied to hurry, protection, and effort. Thank them for keeping you balanced. As the breath leaves, let the hips become heavy. They do not need to prepare to rise. Your pelvis has been a quiet center beneath so many movements. Thank it for providing stability. As the breath leaves, let the deepest muscles there release whatever they can without force. Even a small easing is enough. Your thighs have moved you through necessary distances. They have lifted you from chairs. They have held you when you waited. They have carried you toward people and responsibilities. Thank them for every step. As the breath leaves, let the thighs sink. There is nowhere else to go. Your knees have bent in service of the day. They have adjusted to floors, stairs, roads, and changes in direction. Thank them for their willingness. As the breath leaves, let the space around each knee become unhurried. No next step is waiting. Your calves have kept you moving. They have tightened around speed and balance. They have worked beneath your awareness. Thank them for taking you as far as you needed to go. As the breath leaves, let them become quiet against the bed. Your ankles have adapted to every surface beneath you. They have made countless small corrections to keep you steady. Thank them for protecting your balance. As the breath leaves, let them stop correcting. The mattress will not ask you to balance. Your feet have met the ground for you. They have stood in places you wanted to leave. They have taken you through rooms where you were needed. They have carried the full weight of your life without asking to be praised. Thank the souls. Thank the heels. Thank every toe. As the breath leaves, let the feet become completely unnecessary. They do not need to take you anywhere. The whole body can feel the difference between being used and being supported. All day the body was asked to carry. Now it is carried. All day your muscles responded to the world. Now the surface beneath you responds to them. It receives without asking questions. It does not ask which part deserves support most. Every part is included. The forehead is included. The jaw is included. The shoulders are included. The aching places are included. The numb places are included. The places you have criticized are included. The parts you wish were different are included. Nothing is placed outside the covering. You do not have to love every part of the body perfectly. You can stop being at war with it for these hours. You can let gratitude be practical rather than emotional. Thank you for carrying me. Thank you for signaling me. Thank you for staying. The body may not feel completely loose. It does not need to. Some muscles have practiced readiness for many years. They may release by degrees. They may need many quiet nights before they believe the demand is truly over. You can meet them without frustration. The part that remains tense is not refusing you. It is asking for more evidence. Let this hour become evidence. No one entered to demand another performance. No punishment arrived when you stopped. The list remained where it was placed. The folded edges stayed close. The warmth did not withdraw. Your body can learn through this ordinary safety. It can learn that the bed is not another workplace. It can learn that darkness is not an emergency. It can learn that being still does not make you irresponsible. It can learn that you will return for it before complete depletion. It can learn that care is not given only after collapse. These lessons cannot be rushed. They settle through repetition, blanket drawn near, edges folded in, hands empty, eyes closed. No new demand. The simplicity matters. Let the body take in only what it is ready to believe. Perhaps it believes that the hands can be still. That is enough. Perhaps it believes that the jaw can loosen. That is enough. Perhaps it believes that one worry can remain outside the covering. That is enough. Perhaps it believes only that this surface will hold your weight for another moment. That is enough too. There is no exam at the end of this. No one will measure how deeply you settled. You are not trying to achieve the perfect state. You are letting achievement end. The words can become smaller now. The sentences can carry less. Your mind has heard enough explanations. It can receive shorter truths. Let them fall one by one. No line must be repeated. No line must be believed completely. They can land near you. They can become part of the tucked-in warmth. I have done enough. I can become still. I leave the list outside. I am not behind here. I return to myself. I receive this support. I release the unfinished. I stop carrying tomorrow. I do not owe this hour. I am worthy without effort. I can be cared for. I let my face loosen. I let my hands open. I let my shoulders fall. I give my body back. I welcome quiet. I trust this covering. I remain within warmth. I am safe enough here. I can stop preparing. I am no longer on duty. I leave answers for daylight. I set down comparison. I release the need to prove. I let my thoughts dare. I do not follow them. I return beneath the blanket. I belong inside care. I am not forgotten. I stay beside myself. I do not abandon my needs. I welcome the heavy feeling. I can receive without earning. I let the old rule fade. I choose fewer demands. I let the day close. I become less guarded. I am gathered inward. I am covered. I am supported. I am enough. I am here. I can soften. I can drift. I let go. I am warm. I am safe. I am cared for. I am home. Held within warmth. Nothing to prove. Nothing to finish. no more carrying. The edge stays. The warmth stays. I stay. Here now. Still here. Safe enough. Cared for. Coming home. The words do not need to continue in a straight line. They can become loose. They can lose their edges. The mind can stop remembering which thought came before. There is nothing hidden at the end. Nothing you must remain awake to receive. The care has already been arranged. It is under you. It is around you. It is in the decision not to ask for anything more. Let the mind become less interested. Let the body become heavier than the list. Let the space beneath the blanket feel smaller than the world and large enough for you. No one else needs to enter. No future hour needs to be invited. The folded edges mark the place where giving ends. Inside them, you can receive. Inside them, your hands are empty. Inside them, your face belongs only to you. Inside them, no one is measuring your usefulness. The body can sink without disappearing. It can become heavy without becoming helpless. It can release without losing what matters. Everything truly important will still exist when morning arrives. Your care will still exist. Your values will still exist. The people you love will still matter. The tasks will still be known. You do not have to keep any of them alive through worry. Let the night carry what the night is made to carry. Let the mattress take your weight. Let the tucked edges keep warmth near. Let your muscles stop speaking the language of duty. The forehead can be quiet. The jaw can be quiet. The shoulders can be quiet. The hands can be quiet. The stomach can be quiet. The legs can be quiet. The feet can be quiet. The whole body can become one unguarded shape beneath the blanket. You do not have to make it happen. The invitation is enough. The pressure has been withdrawn. The list has been placed outside. The edges are secure. You can become less aware of the room, less aware of the hour, less aware of the words. Nothing will be lost. You are being carried through the part you do not need to manage. The night has become smaller around you. The day is no longer spread across every thought. Its unfinished pieces remain beyond the folded boundary, where they can wait without entering your body. You have already brought enough with you. The part that keeps checking may still lift its head. It may listen for the next request. It may ask whether you have forgotten something. You can answer without opening the whole day again. Nothing important needs your attention in this moment. The blanket has been arranged. The edge beneath you is doing its quiet work. The body does not need another explanation. It can begin believing through what does not happen. No alarm appears. No one asks you to solve a problem. No consequence arrives because you became still. The room remains a room. The bed remains beneath you. The fabric remains close. This ordinary safety can continue. You do not need to stay alert in order to protect it. The old habit of readiness can become less certain. It can look around and find no task. It can wait for urgency and hear only the small sounds of a settled room. It can search for proof that you should rise and find none. Let that be enough. The part of you that once learned to expect interruption does not need to be convinced all at once. It can be shown, minute by minute. Nothing is entering, nothing is being taken, nothing must be defended. The edge remains folded. Warmth remains near. Your place remains yours. You are not expected to offer it away. You may have spent many years giving up your place before anyone asked. You moved aside emotionally. You made your needs smaller. You let other people's discomfort become more important than your own truth. You became skilled at disappearing without leaving the room. That skill may have protected connection. It may have helped you avoid conflict. It may have made you seem easy to love. But love that requires your disappearance is not the care your heart has been asking for. You can remain present now. You do not need to move aside inside yourself. You do not need to give this space to worry. You do not need to give it to tomorrow. You do not need to give it to the person whose opinion has been following you. This small place belongs to you. The blanket does not become less generous because you take up room beneath it. The mattress does not resent your weight. The folded edge does not ask you to become smaller. You can occupy the space meant for your body. You can let your shoulders spread. You can let your hands lie where they fall. You can let the legs become heavy. You can stop arranging yourself for someone else's comfort. No one is watching. No expression is required. No posture needs to communicate that you are fine. You can become unobserved. This may be one of the deepest forms of relief. To exist without being interpreted. To have no face to maintain. To have no explanation prepared. To be a body beneath a blanket, neither successful nor failing, only here, only carried. The thoughts may become strange as they loosen. They may bring old places, old voices, a task from years ago, a face you have not seen in a long time. The mind sometimes opens drawers when the day becomes quiet. You do not need to organize what appears. You do not need to understand why it came. A memory can pass through and continue. A sentence can arrive without becoming a message. An image can fade without being solved. You can let the mind become less orderly. Order belonged to the hours of duty. The coming hours do not need such careful arrangement. Your thoughts can lose their sharp sequence. They can become pieces without edges. They can move behind the curtain of the eyelids and disappear before you know where they went. You are not losing anything useful. You are leaving the workplace of the mind. The list no longer needs a reader. The future no longer needs a rehearsal. The past no longer needs a judge. Everything can become quieter because you have stopped assigning yourself a role. No manager, no rescuer, no peacemaker, no keeper of everyone's comfort, no witness standing guard. The roles can remain outside the tucked boundary. They may be waiting in daylight. They do not sleep beside you. Under this covering, you are not a role. You are the one who has been carrying all the roles. That one deserves a place where nothing is requested. Let the words become fewer. Let their work become lighter. The edge is folded. You are inside. The day is outside. Your hands are empty. Your face is free. Your body is carried. No need to prepare. No need to answer. No need to improve. There may still be pressure in one place. Let it remain without becoming a failure. The body releases according to its own wisdom. A shoulder may stay lifted a little. The stomach may remain uncertain. The jaw may loosen and tighten again. This is not resistance against you. It is the memory of effort. Meet it with patience. The body has followed many urgent instructions. It may need time before it trusts a voice that asks for nothing. You can offer that voice now. No hurry, no test, no demand, nothing to get right. The warmth does not depend on perfect surrender. The two-picked edge stays even when part of you is unsure. Care can be stronger than uncertainty. Care can remain while fear becomes smaller in its own time. You do not need to remove every fear before closing your eyes. You do not need to become fearless in order to be supported. You can be uncertain and covered. You can be worried and carried. You can be sad and included. You can be disappointed and worthy. You can be unfinished and protected from further demand. The night is not asking you to transform your feelings. It is making room around them. A worried heart can lie down. A grieving heart can lie down. A lonely heart can lie down. A heart that has made mistakes can lie down. A heart that does not know what comes next can lie down. Nothing within you has to become beautiful before it is welcomed. The blanket is not selective. It does not cover only the calm parts. It reaches across the whole body. It includes the places still holding heat from the day. It includes the ache. It includes the numbness. It includes the parts you have not understood. You can let care be this complete. No part left outside as punishment. No feeling sent away to earn its return. Everything belongs within the fold. You may remember the child who once wanted someone to check the edges. The child who wanted one more quiet sign that the room was safe. You can offer that sign now. Not through endless checking, through completion. The edge has been pressed beneath the mattress. The hand can withdraw. The work is done. Care does not need to keep touching the fabric to prove that it was real. It can leave the room and remain present in what it prepared. This is the lesson within the folded edge. Love can prepare something and trust it to stay. You can prepare this hour and stop managing it. You have brought yourself to bed. You have withdrawn the demand. You have placed the list outside. You have let the body become heavier. You have done what can be done. Now the hand can withdraw. The mind can stop smoothing every corner. It can stop checking whether the boundary is straight. It can stop asking whether the warmth is enough. Enough has already been arranged. The small engineering of care is complete. A surface beneath, fabric above, edges secured, a body between them. Nothing elaborate. Nothing missing from this immediate moment. The world beyond the bed can remain imperfect. This small arrangement can still be enough. You do not need global safety to experience one protected hour. You do not need every relationship repaired. You do not need money worries erased. You do not need the future guaranteed. You need only the truth of what is here. No task is touching you. No conversation is happening. No choice is being required. The body is supported. The covering is near. You are free from action in this moment. Let the mind stop arguing with what is available. It may say that the problem still exists. Yes, it exists beyond this immediate boundary. It may say tomorrow is coming. Yes, it will come without being pulled closer. It may say someone expects an answer. Yes, expectation can wait outside the bed. The truth of those things does not cancel the truth of this hour. You are not required to carry reality all at once. Life comes in moments. This moment has fewer demands. Receive the moment you actually have, not the one you fear, not the one you remember. This one, covered, supported, unobserved, still. The final part of the day can loosen its grip. The faces can fade. The words can lose volume. The rooms you moved through can close behind you. The list can remain unread. The future can become distant. You do not have to follow any image that passes. Let it go beyond the folded edge. Let it leave the bed. Nothing needs to be chased. The body can grow heavier than thought. The head can sink, the shoulders can spread, the arms can become unnecessary. The hands can forget their work. The chest can move in its own rhythm. The stomach can stop bracing for news. The hips can settle. The legs can lose direction. The feet can forget the floor. You are no longer moving through the day. The day is moving away from you. You do not need to watch it leave. It knows the way out. The last pieces can pass beyond the boundary. A voice, a worry, a name, a task, a regret. Let each become less distinct. No need to identify them. No need to say goodbye properly. They can leave without ceremony. The edge stays. You stay within it. The body is learning that the end of effort does not mean the end of love. You are still cared for when you are doing nothing. You are still worthy when no one is benefiting from you. You are still connected when you do not answer. You are still good when the day remains incomplete. These truths do not need to be carried into thought. Let them settle where words are no longer required, somewhere beneath the breastbone, somewhere behind the eyes, somewhere in the hands that no longer grip. The body can keep what helps and release the rest. You do not need to remember every line. You do not need to remain present for the ending. There is no final lesson you must collect. No hidden instruction waits beneath the last sentence. You can leave before the words do. You can drift while the room remains quiet around you. The folded edges do not need your witness. They stay because they were placed with care. The child within does not need to listen for the final reassurance. The reassurance has become physical, warmth near the skin, weight received, edges held beneath. Nothing more to check. The one who used to wait for comfort can stop waiting. Comfort is already here in the smallest available form. It may not answer every longing. It may not undo what was missing. It can meet this hour. This hour matters. A single protected hour teaches the body that another experience is possible. A night does not have to be spent carrying the whole house within you. A bed can be a boundary. A blanket can be a promise made through action. A folded edge can say that someone considered the places where cold might enter. You are that someone now. You have considered yourself. You have not waited until every other need was satisfied. You have not required total collapse. You have drawn care close enough to be felt. Let that act count. Do not minimize it. A new relationship with yourself is built through such acts. You return, you listen, you make room. You stop asking the body to pay for every unfinished task. You remain near when discomfort rises. You do not pull the covering away from the part that struggles. You include yourself. You keep including yourself. The night deepens without needing to announce itself. The room becomes less important. The exact hour becomes less important. The words become less important. Only the felt boundary remains. Near, quiet, reliable. You do not need to hold it. You can sink beneath it. A little more weight leaves the forehead. A little more effort leaves the tongue. A little more readiness leaves the shoulders. A little more of the day leaves the hands. A little more distance enters between you and the list. The distance is kind. It is not avoidance. It is the space needed for renewal. Morning will bring the ability to choose what deserves attention first. Morning may not make everything easy. It may not erase the difficult circumstances. It can meet you after a period in which you were not adding more strain. It can arrive to find you less scattered. It can find your hands no longer gripping the previous day. It can find a small amount of strength returned without force. You do not need to prepare for that morning. It can come to you. It knows where you are. You will not miss it by closing your eyes. Nothing important will pass you because you became still. The light will find the room. The first sounds will arrive when they arrive. The list will still be there, but it will no longer belong to the darkness. It will belong to a later version of you, a version standing in daylight, a version with choices, a version who can decide what truly matters and what can remain undone. You do not need to become that version now. You can trust them enough to leave the work in their hands. They will know more than you know in this depleted hour. They may have clearer eyes, a steadier voice, more space between feeling and response. Let them meet what comes. You do not have to do their work in advance. This is how one day releases another. The current self stops borrowing tomorrow's effort. The future self is permitted to arrive with their own resources. No more advance payment. No more rehearsed exhaustion. The edges remain tucked around the person who exists now. This person, this body, this hour. You are not saving energy for someone else. You are returning energy to the life that is yours. No need to count what returns. No need to measure the depth of quiet. No need to wonder whether enough has changed. You stopped adding demand. That matters. You remained beside yourself. That matters. You treated need as worthy of response. That matters. You chose not to make the night another extension of work. That matters. The list can remain asleep outside the fold. It has no feelings to hurt. It has no power to accuse. It is only a collection of things that may or may not be done. Your life is larger than its boxes. Your worth is larger than its completion. Your body is more precious than its productivity. You can leave every item untouched until daylight. There is nothing cruel in that. There is wisdom. There is care. There is a quiet loyalty to the person who must live tomorrow. You are not taking something away from the world. You are keeping one person from being used beyond their limit. That person is you. The room asks nothing more. The bed asks nothing more. The folded edge asks nothing more. Let the silence become complete enough. Let the body become heavy enough. Let the thoughts become distant enough. No standard, no finish line, only less effort, less reach, less readiness, less concern with the exact moment you drift. You can lose track. You can stop following. You can let the final words pass without collecting them. The edge is secure. The warmth is near. The body is no longer on duty. The child within is not standing guard. The adult within is not solving tomorrow. Both can lie beneath the same covering. Both can be included. Both can become quiet. A final vow can remain after language fades. I rest beneath love's carefully folded edges. No need to repeat it. The sentence can remain once, like the fold itself, placed, secure, enough. The list can wait. The room can darken. The body can sink. The hands can stay empty. The edges can remain. You are within them. Rest now. Morning will be kind. The last loose corner is safe until dawn.